make sure that I can see the live chat, and I can. All right, guys, we can officially get started. Welcome to the Her First Six Figures Morning Show, that is an interactive coaching and training experience as a part of a free business mastermind group to position Black and Brown female online service based entrepreneurs to generate your first six figures by learning how to make the money and create time freedom. This week's blog is at shaycannon.com/stay. That's STAY. Shaycannon.com/stay. Drop that in the YouTube. All right. Because what we're talking about this week is something I think that is on our minds as service-based businesses, as we're trying to grow our business. And so it came to me that we don't really look at this perspective in and of itself. Like, we pull in different things when we're worried about business growth, but this perspective I felt like we should focus on this week, and that is high impact retention strategies so that clients stay clients longer. Okay. So let's get into it. There is a huge heartbreak associated with the challenge of high client turnover, especially us service-based businesses. Sometimes when we service our clients, it's almost like we've serviced them and they're gone. We're always off trying to find new clients. Well, you guys should know by now, and the research shows that it's easier to keep a client than it is to go out and get new clients. Now, what do we mean by easier? It's basically the investment of your time and your resources and the return on investment. So once you have already captured the attention with the tofu and you've already nurtured the attention with the mofu, it's easier to keep those clients so that you can give them more things on the bofu level. Okay, so that's what it's meant by it's easier to keep clients than it is to go and find others, because it takes more money to go get new people to like, know, and trust you than it is people who already like, know, and trust you to sell them something else. All right. So when clients don't stay long, it creates a cycle that's hard to keep up with, constantly needing to replace them just to maintain steady revenue. This not only impacts profitability, but also disrupts business stability and your business planning. You know, you planned on things in your business based on this revenue. And when you leave, when clients leave you, that lowers the revenue. Now you got to go back and look at the plan again, right? It becomes difficult to build momentum or create long-term impact when you're always focused on attracting new clients instead of deepening your relationships with your current ones. So high turnover will drain time, energy, and resources that could better be used to grow your business. So if sustainability and growth are the goal, we have to reduce our client churn. It is essential, okay? So that was just the introduction. We haven't even gotten into today's strategy for that. So today's strategy for keeping a relationship and keeping your clients paying you is feel their need. Okay, feel their need. We've talked about this in different ways. Now I want you to look at it from a perspective of keeping clients rather than always going to find new clients. Okay, so one powerful way to increase client retention is to offer tiered levels of support, okay, that meet clients at different stages of their journey. Instead of delivering one standalone offer by itself, right, with no follow-up path, no clear progression of where they're going, allow clients to grow with you over time. Okay, this is the offer ladder. We've talked about this time and time again, but have you thought about the fact that if you don't have an offer ladder, then you're servicing people and then they're gone, right? And there are different ways to have an offer letter. Today, we're talking about a specific way to have an offer letter, and that is one that progresses their transformation. Now, we're going off script from the blog, but you can have an offer letter that simply has where I give you a little transformation on the same thing, I give you a medium transformation on the same thing, or I give you a large transformation on the same thing, right? So that could be the 3 steps of the ladder. You could have a ladder where it's the same thing, but it's DIY. It's the same thing, but it's DWY. It's the same thing, but it's DFY, okay? With the middle being done with you and the top being done for you. You can have different types of ladders, but today what I'm telling you is the one that works the best for you to retain clients is a progressive ladder. That is where you get them through one phase and one transformation on the bottom. Then they get to go to the next transformation in the middle, and then they get to go to their highest transformation at the top. So that is a progressive offer ladder. All right. Good morning, Chantilly. We see you over there on the YouTube. So with that in mind, that is the type of tiered offer ladder that keeps the same client with you. The others will attract different clients to get your same solution in different ways. Okay, so keep that in mind. And if you have questions about them, stick a pin in it or put them in the chat. Okay, it's easy to lose a client who completes a service and doesn't know what's going on next. So, for example, a client might finish a service with you, make some progress, and then disappear. Not because they weren't satisfied with their service, but because they weren't aware that you could help them with their next phase of success. Some of you think that just because you're the expert and people know that you have certain expertise, that they're going to ask you about how they can keep working with you. Well, that's not their job. Your job is to create a clear path for them to keep working with you and to talk about that path all the time. Okay. So when your offer ladder is clear and consistently communicated, you reduce clients' drop off and keep them moving forward with you instead of them moving away without you. Okay. Now that's the blog, but here on the morning show, I give you more. So let me go to my show notes, because even though I've described in detail the tiered offer ladder that I want you to think about to keep your clients with you, I want to give you some strategies to do other things where you're filling their need, including that offer ladder. Okay. So Dr. LaFera, look, you know, you be the last one to come in. So Dr. LaFera, you'll be the first to get the question when we get through the 10 strategies. Let me go ahead and put the question in here so that you guys can be working on your, oh, I never did give y'all the link. There you go. Now there's the question. All right, I'll give you to the question too. So Chantilly and those that are watching with you, y'all can get ready with your answers also. All right. So I got 10 strategies for you, and these strategies are to help you to keep the clients that you have by continuously filling their need. We don't want one and done. We want to continue to fill their need. So the first thing you're going to do is what we said. We're going to map out, okay? We're going to audit the client journey to see how they can go from start to more success, okay? From start to more success. So we're going to map out the key transformation stages that your client has to go through and experience to start with a solution and to end in a place where you can help them all the way up to the last point that you can help them. Okay, map it out, because this is where we're going to get our ascension ladder from. So you need to be thinking about their initial awareness, right? All the way to full-blown success with your, when they don't need what you have to offer at all. We need to be looking at all of that so that we can document it, all right? Then we're going to identify which service fits each of those phases, okay? And that is how we're going to create this ascension ladder of offers. So have your offers ready that can anticipate growth and design each one of your services to be the next level from the last, okay? And keep in mind that we don't want to leave gaps. So either we're going to include stuff from the gap in the bottom step, or we're going to include stuff from the gap in the next step, okay? We don't want any gaps when we create this offer ladder of ascension, all right? Number 2, we can create tiered offers that build on each other, okay? So once we talk about the what's in the actual from here to there, right? We can just make sure that we're building on each other as a point of reference, because another thing is people need different levels of stuff, but if you craft your offers where you get everything you need on level 1 to be more successful for level 2, you're less likely to have people trying to skip your levels. I hope that makes sense, right? Because some people want to come in and get right in the middle, but if you have your levels constructed and created and structured to where they have to have certain things to go to the next level, you can service them better and they're going to get better results. Because at the end of the day, clients don't know what they need. They think they know, right? But you know what they need, but it's going to be hard. You're going to be hard pressed to get people the transformation if they try to pick a higher level, because they're trying to rush their success and their transformation, but they don't have all the things they need to be on that level. So start thinking about, okay, not only are these the levels, but what do you need to smoothly go from one level to the next so that you don't have somebody on a level they don't belong just because they are basically insistent to you that that's the level it is. And because that might be a higher price level, you might be more inclined to let them be on that level. But you're about to go through hell and high water because they don't have everything they need from the levels below. So create your offer ladder, your ascension, to where each level progresses from the next. Okay. And that way we're not just covering gaps of service, we're covering gaps of transformation. So I hope that makes sense. All right. Number 3. Clearly name and frame each level. Clearly name and frame each level. Because a part of having your offer ladder is giving it names so that people understand, the progression just from the names alone. Because we are having to repeat these levels over and over again. But we want them to make sense. Okay? So it's almost like I know everybody doesn't have kids, but maybe if you've even been in the ecosphere of like a daycare, right? As the ages get older, some of the daycares name their little groups like crawlers, walkers, stuff like that, so that you immediately understand what that group is about just off the name. Okay? If we do that, it's going to help people to understand where they are. So when I gave you guys like the stages of business growth, I gave you like transactional, and then I gave you something else. I can't even remember them all, but it was 4 of them. But it made sense to you why this name was under that name, and that name was over this other name. If we take the time to name our levels in a way that helps them to understand where they are on your offer ladder, that helps us when we're consistently telling them about these levels. Okay. Number 4. Include a what's next slide or call to action in every delivery. Now, you're supposed to have one main offer. That's the offer that you talk about all the time. It's the offer that's easiest for you to sell. It's the offer that is forward facing. That doesn't mean you don't show the entire ladder. You can show your ladder, but to show them where they would be on the ladder if they take you up on the main offer, but you show them that you have other levels, even when you're focused on the main offer. Okay. So how we use that offer ladder is we have to, when we're talking about our offers, tell them about the entire ladder. We just don't go into detail about the entire ladder. We go into detail about the main offer. So let me give you an example. I might say, let's just use beginner, moderate, and intermediate as the ladder. Okay. So I might be selling moderate. And I'm selling moderate. I've done a sales event and I'm selling moderate. But in my pitch, at some point, I'm going to show you the entire ladder of beginning, moderate, and intermediate. And I'm going to tell you quickly, right? It's almost going to be like a blurb, a little mention that, oh yeah, the beginning level is for these type of people. The moderate level is for these type of people. And the intermediate level is for these type of people. But today we're talking about the moderate level. If you want to know about any of the other levels, please contact me. But today what we're talking about is our main offer, which is the moderate level. So you just give it a mention, but you always show your entire ladder. Okay. Number 5, use post-service progress check-ins. What does that mean? That means when they have finished a level from your offer, you need to be checking in and you need to be reminding them why they need the next level of your service. Okay. This is how you push people up the ladder. Sometimes they don't go up the ladder immediately when they finish a level. Sometimes they have to be reminded of the pain that they're going to have now that we solve this problem, right? Because that's where we get the phrase new levels, new devils. Okay. Just because we solve that, if you want to go all the way to the top, it's going to be more things to solve as we go up. So let me remind you that I'm here to help you for this next level. That's how we push people up our ladder. We don't just service them and let them go. Okay. You check in, you remind them that you're there to help them with the next ladder, tell them some of the pain points that they're going to be experiencing, and let them know you have solutions. All right. Number 6, bundle your services as a path. PATH, in case the Alabama got in the way. Okay. Not just a package. So when you market your levels and your offers as a package, they seem not connected. Okay. So we want to sell it as a path, as a blueprint, as a ascension. Okay. As a group, the whole ladder as a group. We always want to let them know that having one piece is not enough. Right. That's how a lot of our advertising have indoctrinated us in our daily lives. Oh, when you have breakfast, you need eggs, a starch, and a meat, right? Those go together. We are indoctrinated to think breakfast, that's how breakfast comes. So we want to indoctrinate our clients to understand that when you are on one level, that's not all. You're just on one part of the path, and you need the entire path to be the most successful. So that's how we should be bundling our services. Number 7, add an upsell to your booking confirmation or thank you pages. It is so many places that you can tell people what part of the ladder they're on and what part of the ladder they still need to get to. And I'm going to say all of your thank you pages or confirmation pages are a great way to remind them of the ladder and where they are from whatever they are confirmed of and where they need to go. Right now, most of my confirmations, I tell people about the group. Are you in the group, right? I can replace that with where are you on the ladder, okay? So you have confirmation pages for lead magnets. You have confirmation pages for discovery calls or booking calls. You have confirmations for after the actual strategy call that they paid for. There are so many ways that you can use these confirmations that they are looking for and that they're going to open and look at to use that prime real estate to show them the ascension ladder again and where they are and where they need to go. Okay. Let's see. Number 8, use visual offer ladders in your marketing assets, okay? Create an actual visual. It can be steps, it could be clouds, I don't care what it is, but show a visual that has your names on it of your levels and some type of ascension. I keep doing this with my hand because I'm giving you a visual of how it looks. But when you present people with your offer ladder, it needs to be tiered. It needs to be a visual tiered thing that they're looking at so that that is in their brain when they think about it. All right. So use visual offer ladders. Number 9, train your content and your marketing to speak about each of the stages. Okay. Train your marketing and your content to speak about each of the stages. So don't just market the entry point. Don't just market the main thing. Market the main thing and help people to understand it's part of a ladder. Okay. Make that a consistent part of your content. Let me tell you how I'm doing that in 2025. I kind of took the pieces of how I knew the ascension goals, and I now have those pieces assigned to a different quarter of the month. And that's how I'm going to do the workshops. That's how I'm going to do the focus of the content and all of that when I really hone in on it. So if I say that, that one of my, like, create a plan, create the structure for the plan, right? And then execute the plan. Let's just say those are the 3 levels. Then what I might do is in the first part of the year, I'm going to talk about designing the plan. All the content is going to be designing the plan. Every workshop I have is going to be on designing the plan, all of that. Okay. And then the next quarter, I can say, okay, let's structure the plan, let's structure our resources based on the plan. So the content is going to be about structuring the resources. The workshop is going to be about structuring the resources. Everything is going to be about that. So I can take my levels and actually break it up into content groups, create my content pillars around it. Now everything that I'm talking about is talking about this ascension ladder. Like, it really helps you to get things into focus. It really helps everything to point back to that ladder. Okay. So train your content marketing to speak to each stage or each level. Last but not least, number 10, create a bridge. Okay. Create bridge offers that fill gaps between major services. This is how you come up with your cross sales. Okay. You have your ladders, and then you have things that people want that they think is the answer. Usually it's not, right? But these are things that they want, things that they will buy. You can use these as cross sales to actually get them in on the ladder for the things that they need. So instead of having big leaps, like one offer is $197 and then the next offer is $5,000, those cross sales can fit in between. It's like a $597 type of offer or something like that. So this is where your cross sales come in. Because I know a lot of you are like, I understand upsell, I understand downsell very easily, but cross sales, I know what you're talking about, but where do they fit? They fill the gaps that your ascension ladder don't necessarily need, but that people think are valuable so that you can bring them into the know of the ascension ladder. All right. So those were the 10. We're going to start with Dr. LaFera. The question is, what is your offer ladder? What strategies will you use to keep more clients? Because some of us may have offer ladders, but it's not set up to keep clients. All right. We talked about that in the beginning. Let me go back through the 10 without all the extra commentary. Number one was use your client journey from start to success to start to create this offer ladder. Number two is create tiered offers that build on each other. Number three was clearly name each level so that they are remembered and understood. Number four, use the what's next part of your ladder in all of your calls to action in every delivery. When you finish something, let them know what's next. Number five, did I say number five? Yeah, number five, use after the service check-ins to help them to understand there are new levels that they need to come back and go through. Okay. Don't just service them and let them go. Remind them, check in with them and remind them, hey, there's another level and this is where they're supposed to be. Number six, bundle your services as a path, PATH, not just a package. Okay. Talk about the whole ladder, even though you're talking about the main service. Number seven, add the upsell of the next level to all of your thank you pages and your confirmation emails. Number eight, use a visual representation of your offer letter in all of your marketing. Number nine, train your content and your marketing to speak about the path. Number 10, create bridge offers as cross sales to bring them into the ladder. Okay. So we're going to start with Dr. LaFera. Do you have a current offer ladder? What is it? And what strategies from today will you use to keep more clients?
I do have a current offer letter. And it's called a healing letter.
Okay.
And with Dr. LaFera. And I have I will have a course. I haven't created it, but that's like D DIY. And that's like right at, right at, 1,000. And then I have like a 90-day energy and elite 90-day elite energy reset. And that's done with me. Because I give you a lot of things to do, including uh, some assessments and stuff, and a few labs to monitor everything. And then I have a 6-month program, and that's the highest investment. That's like a lot of high touch, like one-on-one meetings with me.
Mm-hmm.
And so like out of what you and so more labs too. And so when they get finished, everybody knows that they will have I don't have a percentage, but they will have a lot more energy and they won't have as much joint pain. They won't,
Mm-hmm.
struggle with their day-to-day um uh getting things done like they did before they work with me because I'm going to train them on their diet and lifestyle and putting it into routines that help them to heal. But like out of what you named,
Mm-hmm.
I was working on this weekend. I designed the offer letter, like a visual of it.
Yes.
Um, and now I'm just trying to like I just got a few more tweaks to put to it. But then like out of what you named, so that was
Mm-hmm.
number what the one that said make it a visual.
Yes.
I guess that's number 8.
Let
And
me see.
then what I'm like right now, what I've always had the most struggle with is number 9 is like train the marketing and content. So I redid my GPT because I realized I had erased the back end of it
Okay.
accidentally. And so now I'm just trying to figure out, like you said, you do your stuff by the quarter, your different levels. And so I hadn't done mine by the quarter. So I may go back in and tweak it. I don't, I don't want to do it by the quarter,
Mm-hmm.
but I will figure out like, it may be by the month or so. Um,
Mm-hmm.
because yeah. So yeah, I'm
Yeah,
trying
so
to
you
figure
can
that
you can
part out.
definitely so you can do it different ways, but it just helps you to have, I work better when I have to create content to
Hmm.
have themes. And so if
Hmm.
I'm using the themes of my offer letter, it makes it easier. So
Yeah.
if I got 4 levels, then I
Yeah.
can go by quarter, right? One level
Mm-hmm.
per quarter. If I got 3, guess what? You can do all 3 in the months of each quarter. Or you can do, if you got 4, then you can say, okay, in every month, 4 weeks in every month, I'm going to go through all of my, levels in a month. So, but it's just however you want to do it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, this was good. Thank you.
Cool, no problem. And just as a visual of an offer letter, I'm going to show y'all my old one. Okay, cool. So you see how it basically is showing you that you're going to get more as you go up. Now, I also have the visual of how much your investment should be as you're going up, right? I also have the level that I'm telling you that they are, and then the name of the stuff, and then some of the, the logos or whatever. So this is the old one. But what I'm doing is I am reimagining what that's going to look like as a path, instead of, okay, you can get the roadmap this way, you can get the same roadmap this way, or you can get the same roadmap that way. Now I'm looking at it like, okay, but where is the ascension? Because that's really solving the same problem in different ways, but it's the same problem. It's not an ascension of problems. So even I have to go back and look at mine, which is how we came with, this week. How do you keep clients with you, right?
So,
Because if
question.
it's, yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I thought you were about to go to the next person.
No, I'm not. I was just going to say, if it's only about the roadmap, then I'm not servicing the people that's not ready for the roadmap. I'm not necessarily servicing the people that have a roadmap. So I have to look more at that to have more of an ascension. What was your question, Dr. LaFera?
Well, I was gonna say like, could you like, as far as like letting them know that it's like everything links to the next, like would it help to have like a visual of something that's like continuous rather than broken, like a ladder, like with steps? Like you need this first, like, and then you need this second. Like I was looking at stuff that I think it was ClickFunnels, but they don't call it that, like with their like different levels of what they do, and they're
Mm-hmm.
just broken out into like different steps, like and then like they have arrows and maybe like a word or two about like the different like step,
Yeah.
so like this is here, like next you'll need this.
Yeah, you can do it like that, and that's fine, right? So there are people that might have one whole arrow, like a huge arrow, and then they
Hmm.
have the different steps of the
Yeah,
phases
I saw
on
that
there.
too.
They have that. But what I have found is that is less powerful than someone imagining themselves going up.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? So that's why I prefer the ladder
Hmm.
versus the arrow.
Yeah. Hmm.
Because
Okay.
think about it, in our minds, um, the arrow is lateral, it's linear. You don't really
Hmm.
feel like you're moving up, you feel like you're just moving on the same level.
Yeah.
And so that's what it's telling your brain when you see the picture. So to me, the actual going up of stuff is more powerful. So I
Hmm.
prefer that one.
Okay.
Cool beans. All right. So Keith said, my offer ladder starts with entry level services like logo and social media design, perfect for beginners. Mid tier options include full brand identity and marketing materials. At the top, I provide custom web design, packaging, and large scale campaign visuals. So if y'all don't understand what that is, so he gives you a website, right? He gives you by packaging, he could be talking about product packaging. But large scale campaign visuals are things like step and repeats, those big things y'all like to take pictures in front of. It can include like the tall banners, it can include tablecloths. So those are large scale design stuff. So y'all can't use them little designs y'all be doing on Canva. They're gonna be too pixelated for large scale design. You need an actual professional file from a professional. So keep that in mind. And then he said each step delivers quality and value to match your needs and your goals. Now, Keith, you got it, right? So you got what it looks like, but how you talk about it now is going to be what's more important, right? You have to talk about it as the different levels of business. If you are an entry level of business, all you need is this. If you are in a medium level of business, this is what you need. But if you're doing big business, these are the types of things that you need. And the large level stuff can even be like when they have a brick and mortar and they need signage for like their windows and stuff, right? The doors and all that kind of stuff. So you need to let them know that when they're picking a entry level service, that should mean that they have an entry level business. You shouldn't have no big business picking an entry level of service. So I think that you need to use that more in your content, because that's how I'm going to have to do mine, right? Because I actually have an ascension ladder, but y'all can't see it because it's focusing on the roadmap. But I have it. I just have to refocus my map or my stairs to show it. So if you know about my services, the actual productivity membership is actually the lower level. A roadmap is actually the middle level, and consulting, once you have your roadmap, is the top level. But that's not how it's situated, so people don't actually see themselves progressing with transformation the way that I have it. So for you, Keith, I'm going to say you need to do the same thing. Make it known that the level of business should help you to pick the level of service. Because if you need bigger business, better business, you need to expect to invest more, and you need to expect to get more for the new levels. So that's what I would say about that, Keith. Kimberly, we know you're at the Dream Funder. You can put in the comments. Dr. Ayana, what is your offer ladder, and what strategies will you use to keep more clients rather than servicing them and letting them get away?
I really need to spend more time fleshing out my offer ladder, detailing it a little bit more. So I would say I really need to hone in on numbers 1 through 3,
Okay.
and really kind of detail what clients are receiving with various levels of investment. So
Yeah.
I don't think that my structure is really, I'll say I don't really have a good structure right now. I need to really work on the basics, the foundation of getting the offer letter together.
Mm-hmm. And just so you know, you're probably going to have two different versions of an offer letter. So you will
Right.
have a version that is for the corporate client and the corporate contracts. Like I can come in and do this entry, I can do this, for the next step, and I can do this for the top step. But also, when you get the one-on-one clients from the corporate opportunities, they probably need a whole different letter.
Exactly. I do have, and that's why I was saying, I have pricing structure, but it's not really clearly fleshed out for the
Yeah.
individual versus the corporate. So that's why I say I need to really go back and detail more clearly
Yeah.
for different types of clients, what exactly um, the parts of the ladder are, and make it more clear. So
Yes.
I need to go back and start over with that.
No
And good
problem.
morning, everyone, by the way.
It's my team. No problem. That's why we're discussing it this week, right? Because again, we talk about offer ladders all the time. We have not talked about it in association with keeping clients, because keeping clients is better than going out and finding new ones. We need to do both, but keeping the clients that we have is a whole different way of looking at this offer ladder. And so you're not by yourself, Ayana. Even I have to go back and look at mine and how I'm representing it. All right, let's go to Dr. Tachi. Dr. Tachi, what is your offer ladder, and what strategies will you use to keep more clients?
Well, 5 minutes ago, I did not have an offer letter because I had not thought about it. Now I do, thanks
Okay.
to Mrs. PT. So I'm looking at it and I'm like, okay, I didn't think about it's kind of combining a lot of things. So do you mind if I go through the steps?
I don't mind. That's what we're here for.
Okay, so it starts off with step one is free value, attract and engage. So
Mm-hmm,
it talks
mm-hmm,
about obviously free access to the content, a
mm-hmm.
weekly email newsletter, that type of thing.
Okay.
And and some other steps. Step two is the entry level offer, converting casual viewers into fans. So they have like an indie soup supporter circle for on Patreon or Buy Me a Coffee and digital downloads. So the next thing is a core offer, which is for community and connection, and that gives fans a deeper involvement and inside access offers. So for example, they have like an Indie Soup VIP pass, which would be like $15 or $25 a month, $15 to $25 a month. The next step is a premium offer, which is like a creator academy, and they have like pricing and stuff for that. They also have merch boxes and creator bundles, and then
Yes.
a one-on-one coaching or consulting. And then the last step is the high-end experience. for like the true super fan, and that's sponsorship packages for individuals or small businesses, which are, you know, higher in price, creator residencies and mentorship programs, and then the live and in-person events or like an Indie Soup Summit. And then they also have bonus things like promoting what is like affiliate and partnership ideas. So
Mhm.
so that's what it mapped out.
Yes, I love that. I love that. And so now the key is going to be to pick a visual that represents that.
Okay.
So that when you're presenting it, first you're going to pick one as the main offer, and that's going to be always the forward-facing offer that you show. But you're also going to show where it is in relation to the other stuff. So I love that. I love that. Cool beans. All right. Does anybody have any questions about filling their need as a way to keep your service clients instead of servicing them and letting them go? Anybody have any questions or value adds? And let me go over here to the YouTube because I know Chantilly said something. Okay, so Chantilly said, I like the visual map, creating content around each level and the idea of making sure they always know what the next step is. Yes, and because all of that, that little summary she just gave is what we have to do. Once we create the ladder, we're just getting started. We're not supposed to create the ladder just so that we know what the ladder is. We have to make sure everybody knows what the ladder is. Where they need to be able to self-identify where they are on the ladder, so they understand what they need to have done and where they need to go for the next level of transformation. So all of that is going to be important. And again, all of this is born of me getting ready to really expand the coaching side of my business and doing what I know I need to do. And then I say, oh, I bet they need to know about that as content. What were you going to add, Dr. Tachi?
Well, I had a question.
Okay.
And I know I've asked this before, but you know, developments continue to develop.
Mm-hmm.
With everything that's happening now, it's it's gone beyond the point of where it was to now it's affecting relationships with other countries, which means it's going to affect all of us on a monetary level in some capacity. So how now do we proof ourselves against that?
Yeah, I mean, that question is going to be relevant to the end of times, to the end of days, Dr. Tachi, because what we know is as the landscape keeps changing, we got to come back to the same question, right? So the first thing I'm going to say is this is why you have to know your ideal client on a deeper level. You have to understand not just how the world is moving and how the world is impacted. You need to know how your client is being impacted. In fact, we're going to talk about that when looks like Wednesday. The personalization experience is Wednesday. You have to know your client to understand how are things going to affect them. Because think about all the news you guys are hearing right now. I mean, every day stuff is happening, right? Every day something new is happening. A new order has been signed. A new changes are coming every doggone day. But all of those changes are not going to impact you, or all of those changes are not going to touch you in ways like others will. So to just keep talking about changes, soon you turn a deaf ear because it's just too much, right? So you have to know exactly how it's going to impact your people. So you have to know your people on a deeper level. Now, what you're going to now do is take what you know about your people, take the impacts going on, and interpret them to your people, right? Because they need somebody they like, know, and trust in the area of your expertise to tell them, this is me. How is this going to affect me in this area that you have expertise in? So that's content. How are these? Hey, this is what's going on. This is what's affecting you. That's your content. Now you have eyes on you. You're a go-to resource for that thing. Now you're going to use those eyes, right, for offers that help to solve the problems that are coming about. Okay. Now these can be those cross-sell offers if it doesn't automatically fit into your ladder, or it could be something new that you're offering as a part of the offers on your ladder to help to solve these problems. So as things change for your people, you have to get them ready for the change. You have to be the resource for what they should be doing or what they should be looking out for. And that's going to situate your business as the go-to business to spend their money and investment in a time where they're scared to spend money and invest. Does that make sense, Dr. Tachi?
Yes, it does. Thank you.
Yeah. So we just have to position ourselves. So, you know, for me, being raised in Alabama, we in my family, we are raised to not necessarily talk about confrontational things as a part of our brand or as a part of our reputation. My grandmother taught me that, like, you don't talk about abortion, religion, and politics with people, because it gives them something to not use their discretion for you or to use it against you, right? So, but you don't have to be out here telling people where you stand with stuff. You don't have to be out here going against a president, okay? All you have to do is say, for a fact, this is what the order is. This is how, it's going to affect you. This is how you protect yourself. You don't have to get into the politics of it. Now, you can, but it's up to you. Everybody is not a talk about the politics person. I have strong views on stuff. I don't necessarily share them because I'm not going to do the back and forth with you. You know what I'm saying? So I don't express them out loud all the time, because the back and forth it does nothing for me, because I'm still going to do what I'm going to do and think what I'm going to think. So I'm not willing to have that. So I need people to understand that when things are happening, you don't have to always come out and take this staunch stance against stuff. You simply can tell your people, hey, this is, as a matter of fact, is what is happening. This, as a matter of fact, of how it could impact you. And this is, as a matter of fact, the solution that I can help you with. So I just wanted to say that part too. So Shantali said, yeah, the visual map, the creating of the content, and always letting them know what the next step is great. But that's what I would do, Dr. Tachi. Anybody else with a question or a value add? All right. Well, y'all know that this morning show is a big part of our free business mastermind group. It's like class, okay? And with class, we got class notes. So if you want my notes that have the 10 strategies on how to make sure that you're giving them what they need to keep them as a client, there's only 2 ways you can get it. Number 1, you can be in the free business mastermind group, and they live in the files section. Number 2, you can get the notes and the entire morning show in your email inbox. Go to shaycannon.com/show to sign up. You will get 2 emails every broadcast day, 1 in the morning to remind you to hop on the YouTube live, and 1 in the afternoon that is going to have a link to the replay and a link to the notes. All right, cool beans. This week, y'all, I am back from vacation. It's good to be back. I am no longer in Mexico. I won't see Mexico again for a year. I'm in transition, getting ready for Asia, but I am currently in Georgia. Okay. But this week, Thursday is Collab Live at 12 p.m. And so we'll be going in live streaming into the group. You need to come prepared with, what do you need as a collaboration? What do you need, and what are you willing to give in exchange? Okay. Happening 12 p.m. Eastern time, live in the group. All right. Also on Thursday night, since I am in Georgia, we're having our free business mastermind group dinner in Douglasville. So if you haven't already RSVP, is too late, because the deadline was the 29th and the reservation has been made. So that's Thursday night at 7:30 p.m. So I am excited to see you guys that are in Georgia. Okay. On Friday, we have a Get Shit Done work session. It's usually only for the paid membership, but the free group gets to come in on the Fridays on the last half. So we'll see you there. Check. I don't even think that information is out yet, because one of the things I need to do is get all of your calendar stuff posted and published. So I will be releasing the April calendar stuff today for both the free business group and the paid mastermind. So look for those updates so that y'all have Zoom links and all of that. But it will be, all this information will be in the events tab or the featured tab. Okay. Anybody else? Okay, Dr. LaFerris said I added a free and sponsorship in to my offer letter after listening this morning. Great. I love it. Everybody needs to go back. Even if you don't change anything, audit what you have to make sure it's doing what it needs to do. You might have the levels, but are the levels clear? Okay. Is it clear what each level is? Would it be clear to your client which level they're on and which level they would need next? Look at the actual offers in the level. Do they include everything they need to include? Is there any gaps in going from one level to the next? Will there be a gap in transformation? So now is the time for us to look at all of that. And again, even I have to look at that. This is something that we need to, this is not a I'm new to business type of thing, or you wouldn't have this problem. This is just a progression of business. You should always go back and make sure, like Dr. Tachi said, when things are changing, okay? When your client is growing, do you have something for them and not just the one service that they can come in and get and then be gone? Okay, cool beans. Well, to find out more about me, your host, Shay Cannon, and more about our highly valuable free business mastermind group, go to the description below for the link and more information. All right. You know, this was a great episode, so make sure that you are giving us a thumbs up and liking our episode. Make sure that you are also subscribed to the channel. And this is going to be one video of a 4-video series, so check out the other videos. All right. And with that, the studio is closing in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Have a great day, everybody. I'll see you back here tomorrow.